After AEW Wrestle Dream took place in the historic wrestling history-filled city of St. Louis, Missouri, Tony Khan decided to take his roster over to the great state of Texas and into San Antonio, where Southwest Championship Wrestling once existed. It didn't really reign supreme because it only lasted about 7 years, but now we get shows like this. I'm John Renton with my review of AEW Dynamite from the Boeing Center in San Antonio, Texas. Yeah, this is the last episode of Dynamite that I will be reviewing right after it happened for the foreseeable future because of a schedule change for the last, what feels like forever, but it's actually only been about the last 4 weeks. Now, I get to go out with a whimper like this. And I mean a whimper because, look, the show opened fine, it closed fine. I have problems with this promotion. My God, do I ever. Jesus Christ. They had around 1,800 fans. I did like the little venue. I did like the feel of it. And we get Wrestle Dream recaps. Hangman vows to ruin Samoa Joe's goddamn life after Samoa Joe said he was going to fuck his ass. Don't know why. Don't know why we're going this way, but whatever. So, the OPPs, yeah, you know me, took on the Hurt Syndicate for the Trios Championships. Man, remember when these titles mattered? Yeah, me neither. I don't remember when they mattered because, realistically, it's just more belts. Just more belts for people to just have. Brian is back on commentary. Now, I appreciate Brian's passion, but he needs to tone it down on the yelling. Excalibur just needs to fuck off. And they need a legit commentary team. They really fucking do. They love Bobby Lashley. We got Meat Chance. And I just noted that Joe Blanchard used to run the Hemisphere Arena, and which held a decent amount of people. And now AEW is running a convention hall. Whatever, it's fine. They need to remove Excalibur from commentary. I kept noting that like several times on this thing. Like, he has been there long enough. He is never going to get good. I gave him a long leash as just a fan, but he is not good. So, an actual wrestling match starring the goddamn show with, well, enough pros. I do hate to say it, though. Shibata and his new brain is just not necessarily working. Later, Ricochet showed up and distracted MVP long enough that the Coquina clutch got locked on, that is. And there we go. The OPPs retain, and I guess this Demand and Syndicate feud is continuing. To me, it has already gone on long enough. So, Joe then says he's coming for Hangman, in the worst way possible, I imagine. And Mercedes arrives in what I assume is a Bentley with a bunch of indie talents carrying her belts. I don't care how many indie wrestling promotion belts she has. If she doesn't drop the TBS title soon, Tony Khan might as well send the women's division home, because this is ridiculous. Well, more on that here in a bit. Statlander says it's on at Full Gear. Good on her. They kept it short and sweet. After that thing with Tony Storm last week, it's a good thing they did. Here's Darby with the AEW flag, and he talks about he, is the flag bearer. He is the, one of the pillars. He's one of the big guys. He can't, he's one of the figures of this company. Even though people said he was doing stupid shit that would get him killed. They're not wrong, and I'm not wrong, because Darby, I met Darby at several shows. Several indie shows. I wish him nothing but the best, but he does a lot of stupid shit. A lot of unnecessarily stupid shit. And he does know that Death Riders aren't far behind, so neither will he. And just, dear God. If I can match it all out, can't be the end. The coffin match can't be the end, and I Quit match can't be the end. Are you just going to set people on fire? Fucking Inferno match wasn't the end of the Vampiro Sting feud. Jurassic Express have some money and some time. I don't have time to listen to Jack Perry fake talk. Megan Bain and Penelope dressed the same as they were at Wrestle Dream. I hope they wash those clothes or steam clean that gear. Against Willow and Harley, against the Sisters of Sin, Julia Hart and Sky Blue, against Jamie Hayter and Queen Aminata. And the winning team here gets to select their opponents in the inaugural, or in the women's tag team tournament for the inaugural women's tag team titles. Or to crown the inaugural tag team champion, whatever. God bless these women for trying. Ford is never going to be good. It looks like she hurt her goddamn arm trying to do a freaking moonsault to the outside. Don't do shit you don't know how to do or can't do. Melee and Penelope got pinned with the haterade. I didn't hate the match. I mean, so far the show is what it is. Like, it's not the worst show. That comes in a bit. But Jamie Hayter basically says, okay, you've been a thorn in my side, Sisters of Sin. It's going to be you two. Tony Khan then talks to the Bucks, and please stop putting Tony Khan on my television screen. Stop putting him on camera. He cannot do this. But it's going to be the Bucks and FTR against Jet Speed. I don't know who Jet Speed's opponents are. I forgot. I didn't write it down because I didn't care. It's a $400,000 challenge. The Broke Buck stuff was like funny with the Hanson thing. That's about it. I'm sorry. I've never found them funny. The greatest tag team of their generation. They aren't even the greatest tag team in their fucking company. So, ISADs, you're all idiots. If you want to be unqualified and, can't be a police officer, but you still want to exert, unnecessary amounts of authority that you don't deserve, to be a bigoted, racist asshole and target people that are just trying to live and deserve life more than you, then join. Oh, wait, no, abolish ICE. That's what I mean. And if you support ICE, fuck you. And fuck the fact if you're an ICE agent also. So, you will never know peace as far as I'm concerned. You all deserve to be shamed. Shamed horribly. And your families deserve to be shamed. Because that's what you brought upon them. So, we suddenly have Mercedes Moné's celebration with a cake. Gee, I wonder what's going to happen here. Somebody pointed out that Renee might be pregnant. Okay, if she is, good for her. I don't really care if she is. I didn't make much of a note of it. So, I didn't notice. But other people were saying it too. Maybe Mox will take some maternity leave with her. We won't have to fucking see him for a while. Anyway, so Harley has her puppet. And look, Harley does good work with the ventriloquism. She does. And then Mercedes shows up. There were all these, the indie jobber guys with the indie titles and all that and everything. And the Owen Hart Cup title doesn't mean shit. It doesn't. It's not a championship you defend. It didn't matter. Whatever. It's all right. Mercedes cuts extremely, extremely fake promos. And this was some of the fakest shit. Why will Khan not relent and get the TBS title off of her? You can keep the indie titles on her all you goddamn well want. You can have her go to all these indie promotions. That's fine. And I know the story they're building is she can't win the big one. She doesn't fucking deserve to win the big one. I don't think the ratings have dramatically improved with her. I don't care how much merch she moves. I don't care if the investment is paying off. I do not want to see this vapid idiot on my television. I don't care if it's just a character. It's not a good character. And it has been shoved down everybody's goddamn throats. It hasn't worked. This TBS title means nothing. It means jack shit. The indie promotions, keep her as champion as long as you want and boost your houses. Good for you. Whatever. Tony will not fucking relent on this damn thing. This is some of the worst waste of resources that he has, put, any use of his time, resources, could be put to better things than this. And then when the puppet goes in the cake, I think the puppet's machine washable. And then Mercedes goes in the cake after Statlander shows up, but Mercedes can't break the table. Because even the table doesn't want to sell for this idiot. So they have to do the spot again. Good job. One of the worst segments that AEW has put on in a while. Just god damn it. If I hate it in WWE when Vince did it, and the El Grande Americano and other stuff that's going on in WWE now, just with the little clips I've seen. And somebody, Asuka Kairi, said just a lot of this comedy bullshit, a lot of comedy bullshit in NXT. If I hate it in WWE, in the Fed, as some of you morons say, then people that are AEW diehards or sickos got to admit when shit is bad. And this is bad. Mercedes is bad. She is poison. I hate the fact that she exists on this program. And I'm glad she's getting paid a whole bunch of money. She hasn't elevated the women's division. I don't care if the matches have been good. I don't want to see her anymore. And if I don't have to see her, then just write her off television. Write her off television. Tony, for the love of God, actually build something. He won't listen to fans. But whatever. Mercedes ain't done on this program, unfortunately, because I'm not allowed to have nice things. Moxley then talks after whatever. I don't know. I assume it was after the pay-per-view. Could have been after he's waiting for a bus. I don't know. This show has gone downhill dramatically. They gave the conglomeration a sitcom-like intro. It's still funnier than anything The Big Bang Theory ever did. Fuck every single person involved in that goddamn show, by the way. So, Moxley makes his entrance from the outside through the crowd. Just why? Why does he continue to indulge him? So Moxley against O'Reilly. And I know what they're telling here. Moxley is losing confidence ever since he lost the title and he didn't want to tap out again, so he punched the referee. And that would be great if Moxley wasn't fucking poison. He is. All this Death Rider stuff is poison. Oh, speaking of which, oh, look, here's the other refs run down. We end up getting a DQ. And then we get more bullshit with the Death Riders and other stuff. And why? Just why? Why won't you listen, you bug-eyed cokehead? God! And bring people back to do something. Resurrect goddamn Bruiser Brody and have him just freaking destroy people. I shouldn't get upset because at the end of the day, it's just fucking wrestling, but when the show is bad, I have to call it bad. The conglomeration members of Orange Cassidy, Mark Briscoe, they have killed Mark Briscoe. I don't understand what they're doing with Mark Briscoe. The match against Kyle Fletcher was good. It was overly long. It could have been cut by about 5 to 7 minutes, but anyway, he teamed up with Roderick Strong, who's good but doesn't mean anything. They face Claudio, who's good but doesn't mean anything. Yuta and Garcia, two of the biggest wastes of money on this roster. Jesus, God, I'm embarrassed their parents gave birth to them. Why will he not give up on this? Just why? The Death Riders thing has sucked. It has sucked the life out of this program. It has sucked the life out of me. I am tempted to not even go to World's End reviewing this stuff. I don't know if I can make it to World's End at this point. Because I've been doing this for 6.5 fucking years. I am burned the fuck out with AEW. Because Khan won't listen. They had Yuta get in offense when somebody should have just basically Pero Aguayo'd him against the ropes, and I don't care if that's harsh. Because I don't want him here. He can go to the goddamn Indies. And Shafir, go to the Indies. Go to Seattle. Do something other than exist on this program. Tony's paying a bunch of people to stay at home. Just pay them to go to the Indies. It would make your program better. It can't make it any worse. 20 minutes of television devoted to Briscoe and Claudio are about the only two I felt sorry for. Roddy, I don't get it. He won't sit his stupid wife down and tell him, you're not good at this, honey. And anyway, Jay Driller on Yuta. God, nope, not going to finish that. Luckily, Yuta's stupid haircut absorbed the fall. Not that it would have caused brain damage. That motherfucker was born with that one. Fucking despise the fact Danielson goes to bat for Yuta. You know what? I wish Danielson hadn't come back. I wish he hadn't been able to come back. Wish he just stayed retired after February 2016. And then he could have come to AEW, but he wouldn't have had that second run in WWE. And then maybe, I don't know, his brain would have fucking healed. And he wouldn't be going to bat for people that are fucking useless. Anyway, the beatdown with the Death Riders. Pac is here. For the love of God, would you just end it, Tony? No one likes this. Here's Darby with a bat. I wish it wasn't gimmicked. God help me. I bet you that's where Blood and Guts is going to go. It's going to be Darby and the conglomeration, members of the conglomeration, because he was there. And they're going to get Willow involved. And we're going to have the Death Riders with Shafir involved. And Shafir will probably injure herself trying to get into the goddamn ring. She's a klutz. Mercedes is still back covered in cake. There's a joke there, and I'm just not going to say, because she doesn't deserve that joke. She deserves to be humiliated for existing and taking up a spot she doesn't deserve. Athena, shows up, oh, hey, I'm the longest reigning Ring of Honor champion. You're the longest reigning TBS champion. You're Ultimate Money, whatever that means. Let's team up. Are you fucking serious? And no, it's just so Billy Starks can get upset at Athena. You know, for the Ring of Honor audience, it's all of like 8 fucking people. And here's Kyle Fletcher in a pink suit. Say my full name. Calls out says Mark Briscoe and him are done. Here's Mark Briscoe. Give me one more shot. Callis says, you got 10 kids. You need a family. He has a family, you idiot. And no, you're not going to get that. So basically, I think they're going to set up a gauntlet-like thing. Or he's going to get something. I think what should happen is Briscoe should win the title at Full Gear. And then Kyle should win the Continental Classic, become the unified champion, which then maybe causes Okada to try, and then we actually get something else going on. But the women's tag bracket. Okay, so Queen Amina and Jamie Hayter against the Sisters of Sin. We knew that. Okay, babe, I don't know how good it's going to be, but whatever. Willow and Harley against Athena and Mercedes. Unless this leads to Billy screwing over Athena Raider, it won't. Because Harley and Statlander got the advantage in that cake smashing thing, we are going to have Mercedes and Athena win at least one match. It's just a shame it's going to be Willow and Harley, but that frees up Willow to go into the blood and guts that is going to be a train wreck. And we have Tony and Mina Shirakawa against Alex Windsor and Riho. Oh, Tony? Listen to the fucking guy that doesn't have his guts spilling out. Listen to anybody backstage that is not going to want to book the goddamn fluffer, this stupid stick bug, this worthless waste of skin. You literally look like you just took skin and put it over a goddamn skeleton. She does not look like a professional wrestler. She is not a professional wrestler. I don't care if she's nice. She doesn't deserve this unless this involves them blitzing Alex Windsor, dumping Riho in the ring, hitting their respective finishers, putting their feet on her chest, and double pinning her in 1 minute. This is pointless. Anybody that sells for Riho doesn't look like a wrestler because Riho is not a legit wrestler. Oh, she was trained by Emi Sakura. You know, one of the original inspirations for Easter Island. Why? Just why? Why? I don't know why I'm getting mad about this because Wrestle Dream pissed me off to an extent with some of the stuff, but it wasn't a bad show. It wasn't a really long show. But Riho, you couldn't get Alex Windsor, Yuka Sakazaki. You couldn't get her somebody. I don't know. I would have had Billy Starks as her partner. Think about it. Then maybe you go to the goddamn finals, but then that would be Windsor and Billy Starks. It's so bad. It's so bad. This women's tag team tournament is already dead. Don't worry, another match can save it. Anna Jay and Ty Malokunte against Bane and Ford. Okay, so this tournament can't be saved. Fucking Riho. How dare you call yourself a booker, Tony Khan? You can't say no. Say no. And just say no while you're at it. So, Mina Shirakawa's talking backstage, looking as only she can look. Tekla shows up, looking as only she can look. And I know words were said here. Didn't really catch a lot of it. I was distracted for unclear reasons. They're going to have a match on Collision. Okada and Bandito had a match for the Unified Championship in the main event of this fiasco of a show. Referee Rick Knox, and look, they hit some good stuff. Okada tried to an extent. He did uncork a good drop kick and can do some moves. He just doesn't generally care. Bandito was selling his shoulder. I do really hope that it's not actually that bad, because if it was, I would like to think Tony Khan would say, we're just going to have you go away and rehab and stuff like that and come back. But Bandito is a soldier and he's willing to do this stuff. He did hit a 21 plex, but got a delayed cover for 2. We got a back and forth. At one point, the double feet in the corner. And then Bandito hit a Rainmaker to a pop, hit the X knee, went for a 21 plex, turn around, Rainmaker, 1, 2, 3. Not a bad main event, honestly. Not a bad main event. The family shows up. Trent in his stupid cast because that motherfucker can't stay healthy. That's a real shame for a Jordan Peterson supporter. It's not, by the way. And Takeshita shows up making his own entrance because Okada, accidentally hit him with the Rainmaker at Wrestle Dream. And there we go. I am real close to I'm so close to just giving up on AEW. I'm debating even doing my end of year list because I'm starting to hate what wrestling is. Because for the good that comes in. And yes, the stories, as simple as they are not complex stories. They aren't bad. The thing is they're simple and they don't involve talents I care about generally. They need to break Takeshita away from Okada. This isn't so much a slow build, it's glacial. Just fucking Rio in the goddamn tag title tournament. Tony, just admit you don't like women. Anyway, agree, disagree, what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter, Letterboxd, Blue Sky handles in the description. I'm John Ritland. I am back on my regular work schedule starting next week. So, Dynamite reviews will be up sometime Thursday morning, afternoon, whatever. Weather time permitting, since it's winter in the Pacific Northwest. Well, it's fall, but it'll be winter soon. Anyway, fucking Rio in the goddamn main event. Rio in a goddamn tag tournament, and Yuta and Garcia plaguing my goddamn screen, and Shafir's still here. They hate Claudio. They must hate Claudio, because Claudio's been a fucking babysitter. I know the Swiss are neutral, but anyway, I'll see you soon.